All right, welcome back, everybody. Here we go. It's the mock draft number 4. Sorry, I feel like it's been forever since I did the last one, but just thought I would hop in here, get one done. Now that we've done July 1st, I officially picked my draft spot, and we're going to head into the OTA season right away here. So, as I mentioned, I am picking from the 11th spot. The reason being, obviously, as I kind of said in the videos before, is I don't have a third round pick. So having that early second round pick and then that early fourth round pick, I thought would be the better strategy to go. So we'll see how it plays out. All I can think about doing. So we'll see how that works. As always, there's players who can't be kept because they've been kept twice already, so those are on your screen. There's players on your screen there now who can't be kept because of the trades Richard, Tom, and I did, so we don't have draft picks for these rounds, so we can't keep these players. And I think that's everything. So before we do get to the keepers for today's draft, I do want to announce a potential, could be, depending, as long as there's no injuries, trade. I know our rules state that we don't really do any official trading until August, so this one is just in the pending stage, pending league approval, I guess we want to say it. So Dallas and I have agreed to a trade, pending, obviously no injuries, nothing between now and August 1st, and then I'll post it on the league for everybody. So I am trading James Cook, who's currently my third round keeper, who I could not keep because I don't have a pick in the third round. So I'm trading James Cook, and then we're swapping picks in the first round. So I'll move up from 11 to 7, and then we're swapping picks in the 7th round as well. So I'll move up 4 picks in that round as well. Again, I couldn't keep him, and Dallas mentioned he was interested, so we kind of got some talking, and so that deal's in place, pending obviously any injuries between now and August 1st. Obviously, I'm not going to hold Dallas to it if he gets hurt at OTAs or something. So I've accounted for all that in the keepers and our draft spot. So on to our keepers. So as you can tell, I've obviously changed Dallas's there to James Cook in the 3rd, and he's keeping Alice Pierce in the 16th. So that's the one change there from the last video. And then the other one, I changed Ty. I had him as Josh Allen as a 3rd round keeper. Given that he could probably have redrafted him in the 3rd round, I think I'm not going to do that. I don't know. There's a lot of guys on his team that are good players, but the rounds are tough. So for this one, I'm going to give him Colston Loveland in the 9th and Harold Fannin Jr. in the 16th. We have 3 flex spots, so it's not like he's handcuffed anyway. Allows him to start 2 really good players with 2 really good values, and then he can just build his team however he wants. So other than that, everything else is the same. Excuse me. Which means for our 2-round draft today, the only player that you'll see is Jackson Smith and Jigba in there. That says a keeper from last year. And then you'll see that I moved myself up under Ty there in the 7th spot. So other than that, let's get ready to draft. All right. Starting off with Dave. Dave is our first player up. Dave has kept George Pickens and Luther Burden the 3rd. 2 good receivers, good value in the 4th and 13th. So I think Dave will go running back. And for this one, I'm going to give him Bijan Robinson. I did forget to mention, you will see the Fantasy Footballers rankings, and mine is Fantasy Pros Expert Consensus ranking. It's a consensus of about 90 fantasy football writers, analysts, all those kind of people in their ranking. So we'll have a slightly different list. Hopefully it doesn't affect who you see versus what I, talk about as players, but just throwing it out there, I've forgotten. Next up is Jen. Jen is keeping Rashee Rice and David Montgomery in the 5th. Rashee Rice in the 4th, Montgomery in the 5th. With those 2 players, she has the opportunity to go any direction. Maybe she wants to play like it's not like a 0 RB game, but kind of like a it's not really a hero RB game, but like just wait on RBs and take all like second RBs. I don't really know if I'd call that a zero RB risk. But I think with having Jamar Chase here and having Rashi Rice, she'd be like stacked at wide receiver. And I think that's why I think that's the best way to go. She can kind of wait on running backs. There's probably going to be some decent players there at the 2-3 turn she could grab if she liked. But yeah, I'm going to give her Jamar Chase. Okay, next up we have Richard. Richard, I had keeping Bashal Tootin and Christian Watson. Again, 2 late keepers, allows him to go any direction. I think here if he goes running back, by the time it comes around to him in the second round, he can go like a receiver. I mean, with Tootin as an 11th round keeper, I mean, he's kind of already set there at running back. He can grab whatever he wants in the third, kind of let the third round fall to him with all those picks. So I think I'm going to give him a running back. And I am going to give him Jamar Gibbs. It allows him to be stacked there, and then he can just go receiver heavy for the second and into the third round if he wants. Maybe he throws a tight end in there. Who knows? Next up, we have Wayne. Wayne, as we say, doesn't really keep anybody year to year. Kind of not talk to him in a bad way. We were just talking about it at we were out for wings not long ago, and so hopefully he gets in there, throws in some keepers. But for continuity's sake, I'm going to keep it at no keepers. Maybe he'll surprise us this year. So. Kind of the top players on the board for Wayne are like Puka Nacua, Christian McCaffrey, excuse me, Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, Jonathan Taylor, kind of area. I think the best player on the board is Puka Nacua. Hopefully he stays healthy all year, can play. I mean, he's an awesome receiver. So I'm going to give Wayne Puka Nacua and hope for the best. Okay, next up, we have the buddies, Jay and Adam. What did they do? They went Tedero McMillan in the 4th, Caleb Williams in the 15th. So, again, Tedero's got good value there in the 4th. Caleb, I think, is really good value. He's going like 6th, 7th round right now. And being 15th round, those rushing yards potentially, maybe some rushing touchdowns in there that'll help his value. So... with Tedero McMillan, he's already got one, probably receiver 2, borderline 1. Does he go receiver? Because there's guys like Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Jake London. Or running backs, he's looking at McCaffrey, Taylor, or Genty. I think if he's thinking running back, he would go Taylor over McCaffrey. Receivers, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer to go Amon-Ra. Does he go running back or receiver? I am going to give him a receiver. As much as I would love him to fall to me, I don't think he's going to no matter what. But I am going to give Jay and Adam Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think that's the best player on the board, so I'm going to give him to them, unfortunately. Next up, we have Ty. Ty has Colson Loveland, Harold Fadden Jr., 2 tight ends. He can go any direction he wants. So looking at the board, we got CeeDee Lamb, Jefferson, Drake London. We still got McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Ashton Genty, Devon Achane. In those ranges... he's solid there. He can go any direction he wants. I think the best player on the board is McCaffrey, but he's always injury prone. He didn't get injured last year. I don't know how good the Niners are going to be. I don't know what Mike Evans does on that team. I don't know. I think the safest play for just volume and points, I'm going to give him CeeDee Lamb. I don't know if that's the one he's thinking, if he would take him over McCaffrey or Taylor, but I think he's solid and that's what he's going to do. I don't know. We'll see. It's not what I was expecting when I was first looking at this pick. I was going to give him a running back, but I'm going to go a receiver for him. Which means it's my turn. Given the board, I don't think it's time to draft Jefferson just yet. I do like a couple of the running backs there. I do worry about McCaffrey and his health. I do worry about Achane in Miami just because it's Miami. Taylor showed really well until Jones got hurt. Genty's in year 2, less expectation. But I do think McCaffrey and Taylor are better than him overall. I have Ibuka and Scatabo. I think it's too far to jump to Jefferson, Drake, London, or Nico Collins. I'm gonna go running back. I'm gonna grab. I worry about McCaffrey, and the only thing that's stopping me of Genty is his age. And it worries me because he's young, and the Raiders are ho-hum, and Cousins is there, and maybe, is it Mendoza? I'm going to do Genty. Okay, I don't know why, but Ashton Genty. And then next up we have Rob. Rob has Williams and Judkins, so he's already set at running back. So it's time for probably a receiver for him. I don't think he's going to go McBride or Allen. It's a little early. So I think I'll just drop on him, which is weird to say, Justin Jefferson. I do think he's better than most people are giving him credit for. I think Kyler should be okay. If he's not, I think McCarthy will do okay. I realize he wasn't like this all-star, but the team was winning games when he was in there at the end of the season. But yeah, so I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson. Next up, we have Sunil. Sunil has Travion Henderson and Travis Etienne. Again, he's solid at running back. But I think given the board, I mean, if he goes Drake London, he's still leaving McCaffrey, Taylor, Achane there. He could load up here and just be set and just go receivers. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give Sunil Jonathan Taylor. Not what I thought, but I was going to go probably McCaffrey originally, but then I switched it up. I went with Taylor for him. Jeremy has Smith and Jigba, who he's keeping in the next round. So this is his only pick here. And then he has Brock Bowers in 9. So he's set there. So I don't think he's going to fall any further. I mean, he might. Does he? I don't see Jeremy taking Achane just because of Miami. McCaffrey's there. I don't see him falling any further. Yeah, I'm going to give Jeremy Christian McCaffrey. Okay, next up we have Dallas. So Dallas dropped back to the 11th spot. So for him, he's got pretty good picks here on the board. He's got Achane, Chase Brown, Barkley, Omarion Hampton. Wide receivers, he's got London, Nico, AJ Brown, Chris Olave, Devonta Smith kind of ranges. For him, I don't see him taking Achane, but I could see him taking Chase Brown. He could take Hampton here. I know he really likes him, and then just see who falls to him when it falls back to his normal draft spot in the second round. I mean, he's solid now at running back with Cook, receiver with Pierce, Drake London and Nico. I think he's going to take a receiver. And I know Dallas likes to do risky things, and he's probably telling me he's never going to draft this guy, but I think he's going to do it, and I'm going to give him AJ Brown. I don't know why. I just have a feeling. Sneaky suspicion. He's going to take AJ Brown. Tom. Okay, I'll do his 2 picks, and then I'll do a really quick recap so we can kind of get through this video. I'm chit-chatting already. For Tom is keeping Zay Flowers and Tyler Warren. So it's 4th and 7th round, plus he has no 3rd round pick. So after these 2, he doesn't pick till the 5th. So he's probably going to go at least one of each. Maybe 2 running backs based on how this fell. I mean, I would do it at this point. I mean, Zay Flowers is, I mean, it's the best, it's not the best number 1 receiver. But I think if you could add these 2 running backs, I think you're set here. Okay, that's what I'm going to do for Tom. So the first one I'm going to give him is Devon Achane. I think this is about right spot for him where he fell. I think he'll get points. I just don't think he's better than those other guys on the board. That's just my opinion overall. And then for his second round pick, I think just because he fell as far as he did as well, I'm going to give him... I think that's too much of a jump. I changed my mind. I'm still going to give him Achane, but I am going to give him Drake London. Look at that. I pulled just an immediate switch. I just went with Drake London. I don't know. I think Chase Brown is too much of a drop. I think he's got to take a receiver who is better probably for points. And hopefully that was worded about. I think Drake London will get more points than Chase Brown overall. Having Achane, he's probably a running back 1, 10 through 12. Tyler Warren's going to be a top tight end. And then having London and Flowers are probably receivers who will fall anywhere between 8 and 15 every week. Yeah, I think it's a good start for Tom. Okay. On your screen, you'll see the quick recap. We have Bijan Robinson for Dave, Jen with Jamar Chase, Richard with Jahmyr Gibbs, Wayne with Puka Nacua, the buddies with Amon Ra, Ty with CeeDee Lamb, myself with Ashton Genty, Rob with Justin Jefferson, Sunil with Jonathan Taylor, Jeremy with Christian McCaffrey, and Dallas with AJ Brown, and Tom rounded the corner with Devon Achane and Drake London. That brings it back to me. And who do I have? I have Ashton Genty along with Cam Scatterbo and Emeka Egbuka. I think I got 2 pretty solid running backs there. I don't have a 3rd round pick. Egbuka's probably again through 10 through 15 receiver every week. Nico worries me. He's often injured. I don't know what Stroud's going to do. I think it's too early on Olave. I don't really like Olave. I do really like Chase Brown. I also like Amarian Hampton, Saquon, Kenneth Walker, Jeremiah Love, Derrick Henry, all running backs I worry about. So I got to probably take the best one I like there, load up at running back. I would have 3 running backs, no receiver. That would mean the 4th, 5th round. Probably got to go receiver heavy. I just don't like Nico Olave, and I think it's too early for Devonta Smith, who I think will do really well in Philly, but do I like Chase Brown? He was doing really well at the end of the year. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to take Chase Brown. Gross. It's not what I expected. I'm only doing 2 rounds. If I was doing the full 5, I'd let it play out and see how it goes. We're only doing 2. And based on this, I don't know if I'm happy with it, but I'm going with it. Okay. Next up would have been Jeremy, who would have taken Jackson Smith and Jigba. After that, we have Sunil. So back to Sunil. Had Travion and ETN. And Jonathan Taylor. So he went running back heavy. I think he is going to end up taking Nico Collins. I think he's going to take the best receiver on the board, potentially. And Nico Collins, and take Nico Collins. Okay. Rob also has 2 running backs with Javonte Williams and Quinshon Judkins, and then took Justin Jefferson in the 1st round. He's looking at a board here with Barkley, Hampton, Walker, Love, Olave, Devonta Smith, Garrett Wilson, Malik Neighbors, Trey McBride, Josh Allen. I think if he would have fallen, he could have taken an AJ Brown. But I think since he's gone, he has a 4th round pick. If he goes running back here, he's probably still got some good receivers in the mix. He's probably looking at guys like Oh, your Jameson Williams, DJ Moore, Odunze, Carnell Tate, Marvin Harrison, DK Metcalf kind of range. Potentially. Maybe that's a little too far. I'm going to give him Devonta Smith. I don't know why. I just think that's where Rob would go. That would give him two pretty solid receivers, the top receivers on their team with Justin Jefferson, Devonta Smith, and then running backs to Devonta Williams and Quinton Judkins. I mean, that's pretty solid. So do that for Rob. Next up, we have Dallas. Dallas has A.J. Brown along with James Cook and Alec Pierce. Again, he could go any direction. I know he's told me in the past he doesn't like Olave or Higgins. I don't see him going Wilson or Neighbors. I don't see him going Old Man Barkley. So, again, he always seems to fall this way where he's here. So I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to give him O'Marion Hampton. Now Dallas has got 2 and 2. He's set up. He's got some young guys and got some older guys. And it's pretty good. I think it's a good team. Okay, next up we have Ty. Ty of CeeDee Lamb, along with Colston Loveland and Harold Fannin. You can go any direction. I think based on like the stats I mentioned last time where he loves his rookies in the first few rounds, I'm going to make him take the jump way ahead, and take the risk and take Jeremiah Love. Because why not? It's just fantasy football, it's fun. So that gives him, what does that give him? Colston Loveland, young tight end, Harold Fannin, young tight end, Jeremiah Love, young receiver, and then, young running back. I was already looking at CD, and CeeDee Lamb at receiver. Okay, we have the buddies next at Amon-Ra, Tedro McMillan, Caleb Williams. They're probably looking at a running back. They were probably hoping... Maybe they were hoping Love would follow them, but that leaves Barkley, Walker, Henry, Breece Hall, Kyron, Josh Jacobs kind of in the mix. I said Amon-Ra, Tedro, Caleb. I think those guys are all really safe. So I don't think he's going to fall any farther. I think he's going to take a little bit riskier. He's had a year where he didn't have to run as much this last year. Give him Saquon Barkley. Okay, next up we have Wayne. Wayne has Puka Nacua, and that is all. I think he's gonna look at the Chiefs and take Kenneth Walker. He's kind of the best running back, potentially, depending on who you talk to, left on the board. Derrick Henry is probably still old and reliable. Breece Hall's, I think, still a little bit of a risky pick here. Same with Kyron. Everyone talks about him losing yards to Corum, so hard to say what would happen. And then having only Puka, no keepers, I think it's too much to give him Olave, a Wilson, or Neighbors, or Higgins in this range. I think it's too early. Okay, next up we have Richard. Richard has Bashal Tutin, Christian Watson, and Jahmyr Gibbs. You could look at best player at the board. He has 3 picks in the next round, including 1 in 6 picks, so he can go any way. I think this is where he could start to look at potentially grabbing a tight end. I think if you look at it, right, he'd have the number 1 potential running back. He could get the number 1 potential tight end. Tutin's, like I said, 10 through 15. Watson's probably any given week, 10 through 15. So let's give him Trey McBride. And he has a pretty solid tight end. And then if he wants next round, he can just load up on all these receivers and just be in a good spot. Okay, next up we have Jen. Jen's got Jamar Chase, Rashee Rice, David Montgomery. And then she has 1 pick in the next round, and then she doesn't pick till the 6th. So keeping that in mind... She can go either direction, running back or receiver. She's stacked at receiver. That would put her at Olave, Wilson, Neighbors, Higgins. With having Chase, that probably takes Higgins out of the mix. I just don't know about New Orleans and the Jets. Both teams in my mind are going to be on the lower end, but they have to have guys to catch the ball. Henry and Hall might be there next round. I don't see Dave taking both of them. So if she wants one of them, she can just let it fall. Or even if she likes Kyron better, she can just let it fall. Probably receiver is the best way to go since Richard just took a tight end. I'm going to give her Chris Olave. I mean, he's a solid receiver, so, I mean, he deserves in the second round. I'm not a fan of those two teams. So, yeah. Next up, we have Dave. Our last pick here before we end it off. So he's got Bijan Robinson in the first round, George Pickens, and Luther Burden. Given he's got a next pick, he can go, like I said, 2 running backs. He can go one of each. And just let the board fall. He doesn't have a 4th round pick, so after these two, he doesn't pick to the first pick of the 5th round. So not much of a difference. I think he's going to take at least 1 running back, but I think he'll do it in the next round. Or maybe not. Maybe he waits, takes Neighbor in 3. I think is risky, but given where he is right now, maybe he plays. I would stack him at receivers, especially come the playoffs. All right. Just to end the video and get it done here, I'm going to give him a receiver, and I'm going to give him Garrett Wilson. Someone's got to catch the ball there. I think it'll be him. I think he'll get over 100 receptions for sure. So yeah. All right. So on your screen there, you'll have both rounds. So I'll just quickly run down the second round. Tom started off with Drake London, then myself with Jamar Chase. Jeremy had JSN as a keeper, then Cinia with Nico, Rob with Devonta Smith, Dallas with Amarian Hampton, Ty with Jeremiah Love, the buddies with Saquon Barkley, Wayne with Kenneth Walker, Richard with Trey McBride, Jen with Chris Olave, and Dave with Garrett Wilson. All right, everybody, have a great evening, day, whatever it is when you watch this video. We'll talk soon, and enjoy your summer. Okay, bye.